member of Sir Optimus International of Cambridge.
We're an organization that's dedicated to improving the lives of girls and women locally, nationally, and internationally.
We help establish new programs, assistance for education, and financial assistance to help women improve their lives and career opportunities.
Dream It Be It is a program specifically dedicated to helping high school girls get access to career education, resources, and mentors who can help to guide them through their career journey.
We know that 2020 and onward has been really difficult for everybody, difficult for us too. We know it's also hard to look at the future for your career when you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Sometimes you just need to take a step back and have some fun too. We all
need to feel good about ourselves during COVID. We want to give you a chance to forget about the things that are going on right now.
Many amazing women have volunteered their time to talk about their career journeys.
They've also given us videos and some fun activities ranging from no baking, yoga, relaxation techniques, makeup, and skincare and exercise.
Gather your friends, virtually for now, and try out some of the activities together. Have some fun. We want to help you feel good about yourself during COVID. Today, I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm here with Alicia Jantzi, also known as Yahtzee, and she is a member of the Cheer Sport Sharks. She is the Team Apparel Director, Skills Manager, and Cheer Mom Coordinator at the Cheer Sport Sharks here in Cambridge, as well as 5 other gyms in North America. So welcome so much for coming here today with us. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So Yahtzee, Alicia, we wanted to let you know that this is a program that we teach our girls about career options and education and the different routes that we could take. So I wonder if you could take us through the career path, the education path leading to the career you're in right now.
So I definitely didn't take a standard career path or school path, so in high school, I was convinced I was going to go into the healthcare field. I actually wanted to be a surgeon for a very long time. So I took a lot of sciences, a lot of maths. I always enjoyed those types of courses. And then I kind of realized that maybe I want to start my life a little bit sooner and not be in school for that long. So I kind of changed my path towards still in the healthcare field, but I wanted to go into more of a physio kind of path. So I still was taking the right courses for that type of career. I took actually 5 years to complete high school because I was a competitive national level gymnast. So in a semester, I only took 3 courses instead of 4. So I could leave school early and go to gymnastics around like 1 or 2. So I would train 30 hours a week. It was very demanding. So it took me a little bit longer. I knew right from grade 9 when I was going into grade 9 that it was going to take me 5 years to complete high school instead of 4. So by the time I completed high school, I was already a year behind where my friends were because they had already started university or wherever they were going after high school. So that kind of changed my mind a little bit more about school as well, just because I felt behind already, even though I was still only 18, not really behind at all, still had so much time in my life. But at that point in your life, you feel like you just have to get to your final destination. So I applied to university. I went to Laurier for kinesiology for 1 year. I did really well. It just I knew it wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy the classes. I didn't really enjoy going to university, and I felt also that I didn't have that big friend group because I felt older than everybody else because I was that year older and a lot of the people were younger, and I was also busy with sports and stuff like that outside of school, so I didn't feel like I could get as involved in university as I would have liked to be. So it just wasn't really for me. So I decided that why am I wasting my money in this in school when I probably don't even want to pursue this career path anymore. So after my 1 year of university, I decided that I didn't want to go back for my second year. So then I was kind of at a crossroads. I was like, okay, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Obviously, it's such a hard decision to make when you're 18, 19 years old. And I feel for all these young kids growing up and have to decide what they want to do at such a young age. It's such a hard decision. But makeup was something that I had always had a passion for. People were always saying that I was very good at it. And I knew that that would be kind of my type of career too, where I could make my own job really, because what you do as a makeup artist, you're just a freelance makeup artist. You make your own hours. You decide how much you work. And I was also working at the cheer gym as a coach as well at this point. I'd been coaching all of my life from the time I was in gymnastics as a coach when I was 15, 16 years old, up until this point when I was 19, almost 20 years old. So I needed something that could fit that part of my life in as well, because I didn't want to stop that part of my life, but I wanted to move on and find a career path. So I decided to go to CMU College, which is in downtown Toronto, for makeup artistry. So I took a course there. It was only an 8-week course, so I took it throughout the summer. And then after that, I got a job at Shoppers in just their cosmetics department, just as kind of a starting job, just to get familiarized with the industry and something to do on the side of freelance stuff that I would do on the weekends, whether it was a prom or a wedding or something like that. So it, again, gave me room to do kind of what I needed to do. So I was doing that I was coaching, I was working at Shoppers, I was doing freelance stuff when I could. So I was very busy that year. I was also still a competitive athlete. So lots of things on the go. I did that for a year and a bit, maybe. And then I kind of decided that I would have to tone it back on some part of my life because I needed to put a little bit more focus into the direction that I wanted to go. So I sat down and I had a meeting with Ali and Alana, who are the owners of Cheer Sport Sharks. And I just said, I obviously love it here. This is one of the biggest passions in my life. And I want to still be a part of this as much as I can, but I just feel like I have to move on with my life and devote a little bit more time to makeup artistry. And if I really wanted to make a career in it, I needed to make myself a little bit more available, because cheerleading obviously happens almost every day of the week for what I was doing at the time, coaching and training myself. So I needed to make myself more available evenings and weekends. And I knew that I needed to do that in order to advance myself in that field. So I had that meeting with them, just kind of explaining to them where I was at in my head. And that's kind of where it ended with them. And we went our separate ways that day. And then I think either the next day or the next couple days, they phoned me and they offered me a full-time position at Cheer Sport Sharks. So then I had some thinking to do. And obviously cheerleading is one of the biggest loves and passions in my whole life. And I didn't think it was really an option for me to work full-time, because at that time we had probably 4 or 5 full-time staff at the Cambridge location. And they had done a bunch of hiring a couple years earlier than that. And I just didn't think that there was a spot for me. So I never really thought of that as an option. But I guess they wanted to keep me in the program and thought that I was of value. So I started there, and they said that they could work around my hours that I would like to keep open for makeup, so that I have Fridays and Saturdays off, which is a main days of the week that you would be doing any freelance stuff. So that was really great that they did that, and I decided that it wasn't something that I could pass up. And working in a field that you love and doesn't feel like a job is obviously the main goal for anybody. So that's how I got started at Sharks.
That's really great to hear, because I know you've obviously you've been there for as long as I can remember,
Yeah.
and you've had different roles. So we're really proud of you for taking on the directorship positions, because you do a really great job of it. It's a
Thank
lot of
you.
work. It's a lot of work. You probably get a
It
lot of calls from us crazy moms. I don't know where the course the thing is. How do I sign up for this? And it's nice that we have some people with cool heads to help us through all those processes, because some of us moms definitely can't keep our heads cool on those things. So
Well,
much
and
appreciated.
it definitely takes a village at Cheer Sport Sharks. Like, not we have our specific job descriptions, but not one of us really only does that part of the job, right? We work together as a team, just like any job, I'm sure. We help each other out if one of us is having a busy time of year and the other is not. So it's definitely a team for
Yeah,
sure.
it is. It is absolutely. But it has been nice the last few years. I've noticed with each of you getting different kind of roles, because things run so much more smoother when the
No
work is divided.
contact, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's not overwhelming, because it is
Yeah.
an overwhelming place. It's there's so much
It's a
going
lot.
on.
Yeah.
It's nice to have some direction, especially if you're a new mom coming in, and having somebody to say, okay, you go to talk to Yahtzee about the uniforms. You go talk to her about this program. It's nice
Yeah,
to know. So
for sure.
it is really well done in that way. Um, Talking about the actual job, what is your favorite part of your job? Whether it be in the cosmetology field or in the tumbling, in the cheer. What are your favorite things?
My favorite part, I'll start with cheerleading first. My favorite part of my job in the cheerleading industry is still coaching. I do love the admin side of it as well, and I'm glad that I can be helpful to so many of our families. But my real passion, I love coaching younger kids, especially. So I coach a lot of our younger athletes. Unfortunately, this year we didn't have the right kids to coach a younger team, but I still coach them a lot in outside programs other than just their team. But I love seeing their passion for something develop, especially at such a young age, when I can have those 5, 6, 7 year olds that you mold into these young, determined, very fiery athletes. Like, it's really something that is such a joy to experience. And I'm so glad I can be part of their first steps in their journey at Cheer Sport Sharks.
Okay, so you have talked about your cheersport career. What about in your field of cosmetology? Like, how would you? What is your favorite part of that? Like, I know you're great with makeup, because I've seen your makeup tutorials, and thank goodness you took over that, because the makeup is so much nicer than we used to do.
Yeah, remember all the glitter that we
Oh
used
my gosh, I have nightmares of that glitter. I was wearing the glitter.
to? Oh yeah, it went everywhere.
Oh
Um,
god.
I just love meeting new people and kind of outside of a sport atmosphere, just because I have been so involved in sports for so long. It's really been my entire life that I've never branched out to any other fields. And so it's really nice to meet new people that have different passions and I can learn from them. And they have completely different lifestyles than I do, but just to be involved in that is something that makes me a better person every day.
That's good to hear. So, wanted to take you through. We're going to talk about your cheer sport career.
Okay.
Can you run me through a typical day from start to finish with your cheer sport job?
Yeah. So a typical day. So we're in the office on Tuesday to Thursday every week. So only 3 days a week. So when we're there, we are very, very busy. I get there around between 9 and 9:30 every day. Usually I start with either answering messages or responding to all my emails, make sure that we really get the communication out to parents about whatever's going on at that time of year. It's always something different. no matter what the day, there's always questions, and that's totally fine. So I would work in the office, answering emails, starting up new programming, talking about new ideas, all of those things from 9 until around 3. And then at 3, I would start coaching normally tumbling lessons. So just like the private tumbling lessons we run them in a 2 athlete to 1 coach ratio. So I would do that from around 3 to 5. And then from 5 to 7:30, whatever, depends on the day. I would do teams. So the teams start rolling in at 5. Teams normally have 2-hour to 2.5-hour practices. And then on a day that I would have practice myself, I would start practicing around between 7 and 8. And then I would be there until 10 o'clock at night. And I would go home and do it all over again.
That's a typical day. Yes, it is.
So long days, but again, we only have those long days from Tuesday to Thursday, and then 1 long day on the weekend during the main part of our season.
Right. And then you don't also have to consider the fact that when we were competing, our girls were competing, you were out chaperoning those girls and watching the events and stuff. So it's a lot of weekend work as well as being, but it's reasonable. Would you say it's reasonable?
It's very reasonable once you get used to it. I think that a lot of people, their jobs are a 9 to 5 situation, right? So they go, they come home, they have dinner, they see their family, they do whatever they need to do in the evening. But the fact that we have we'll have 12 to 13, depending on the time of year, sometimes we'll be at the gym until 11 or midnight, just whether we're talking about what's coming up next or just talking about life with the other coaches or athletes. It can turn into really, really long days, but you definitely get used to it. And Sharks definitely provides you with the time that you need in the off season that we have. So in the summers, they really like to make sure that their staff is taken care of. We get 4-day weekends every day in the summer, which is really, really great because they know how demanding the September to April part of our season is. So they take care of us a lot in that way.
That is good to know. You also, I know those of you who have followed Alicia's career, you also know her better as Jantzi. She was also a great white shark with the Sharks, and if you watch the show Cheer Squad, she was on that show as well. Am I correct? And that is a part of was a part of her career. I don't know if you still compete or fill in when you need it.
I'm still on the team, yeah. So I am still full-time athlete. I am the oldest on the team now, so I took over that spot this year. I believe was the first year that I was technically the oldest athlete on the team. So it's really, really fun. I enjoy it. I use it as my form of exercise and escape from the world. And my mentality is if my body still feels like I can do it, then I'm going to do it as long as I can.
Absolutely should. I was saying to someone else that I can't even do a somersault anymore, but I did once and it hurt. But if you can keep going, I think it's amazing. So this is kind of leading me to the question of continuation and stability. I know a lot of girls, when they enter a career, they want to know how far they can go into it or how likely to find a job. What's your thought? What do you feel about your career or your field? Is there stability and continuation in it?
Yeah, for sure. I think there is a lot of stability, especially because Cheer Sports Sharks is growing into such a large cheerleading gym. Every single year we continue to grow, especially the last couple of years where we've developed these affiliate locations, which are locations outside of our 4 main locations that we own, but it's more of a franchise kind of deal. So the business is growing so much. Our jobs evolve every single day. When I got hired, I didn't really know what my job title was for the most part. I knew I was going to be doing uniforms and cheer moms, but my job has evolved to be so much more than that in the last 3 years. So there's definitely a lot of room to improve yourself and expand on the career that we already have, and just helping to grow the gym itself is very, very rewarding, and we are a tight knit staff, and all of us are friends outside of our workplace, and we really care about one another and care about the gym, and it's a really, really amazing place to work, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, so I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely. You know, you have a really great career, and I see you having fun in your job. What kind of advice would you give a young girl when they're considering their own career path?
I would just say to follow your heart and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're not going to, I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot that you know what you're going to do from the time you're 17 and you stay on that path for the rest of your life. People change careers from the age of, maybe they change their mind at 18, maybe they change their mind at 35, 40. And people can be very successful starting a new career at 40 years old. And many, many people have done it. So I just don't stress about these big decisions that you feel like you have to make, because it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to completely flip what you want to do, because you have time in life. And if you are dedicated to committing yourself to whatever you choose, you will be successful. And that is the main thing that you have to think about, is that it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. So if you don't feel that you're in a place where you think is right, then don't do it anymore. Move on and find what you really, really want to do.
That is great advice. And I know a lot of girls are struggling to pick
Yeah.
their career at 17. I'll tell you, I didn't do what I set out to do when I was 17, and I'm very happy where I am. So it's
Yeah.
important, like you, just to follow yourself and see where you want to go.
Yeah,
Did
for
you
sure.
ever have someone as a mentor or someone that helped you guide or give you some advice in this route?
Um, I wouldn't say I had one specific person per se. My family was always a very big supporter of whatever I wanted to do. I always did very well in school, and I felt myself that I was expected to go to university for 4 years and do the thing that I thought was normal. But they never put any pressure on that for me. So I was very nervous to go up to them and tell them that I didn't want to do university anymore, because that's what I thought that they expected me to do. But really, that was me putting the pressure on myself. So they were very, very supportive of whatever decision that I wanted to make. So that is a huge support system and mentor, I guess. My mom and dad are very supportive of whatever I do. Another person that I really, really look up to and respect is Lisa O'Coin. She's the owner of Spring CDT. It's a cheerleading company. They travel internationally and coach cheerleading all over the world. They started their business. Kenny and Lisa started their business, I think, over 10 years ago now. And they started from nothing and have developed it into this global thing that everybody knows who they are. They're such fantastic people. Lisa herself was really involved in politics in her first career. So she kind of took a big turn there, and she decided that she didn't want to do that anymore, and she wanted to start this cheerleading business and had such a passion for it. So she's just somebody that I have admired so much. And she is one of the most honest people that you will meet, but she also has the biggest heart and will support you in whatever you want to do. If I went and called her and told her, Lisa, I want to be Prime Minister of Canada, she would be like, okay, what do we need to do to get there? Like, she's that type of person that would never say that you're crazy, would never say that your idea is stupid or whatever. She would just be like, okay, you're going to have to work hard, but let's do it. So she's another person that I really admire.
That's amazing. You know, we all need that cheerleader, really. So it's really, I know, right? No, that's great. I know that's something that we offer with our program. So it's really nice for people to hear that you can't do it on your own. You don't have to do this on your own. There are people out there who can give you advice. So, you know, Alicia, we really appreciate all the time you put in today to help us and help our girls, because this has been a tough year.
And it has been tough. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk to our girls and to let them know there's still time. You can explore a little bit. And in addition to being here with us today, Alicia and Jennifer Power will be putting together a video for exercise video. So that's a chance for you. I know that a lot of you girls are tired of being in the house and just doing study your books and stuff, which is important, but it's important to be good to yourself and take care of yourself. So, get a bunch of your friends on a Zoom call and go outside in the summertime and do this workout. You're gonna love it. I will probably watch it because I've tried a couple of your workouts and I'm usually on the ground for a while. I don't know how. You girls are amazing. I know I've watched them and they're exhausting, but they feel so good. And we also have a special surprise that Alicia will be doing a makeup tutorial and a skincare tutorial. I think a lot of us have been suffering with having to wear those masks in school when you were wearing them. And maskne, I think is what it's called, has been, like, people will come out and they're like, they've got all this acne. I'm like, what is this? And skincare is something that has to be considered a little bit differently with this new thing. And also, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about professional makeup for job interviews. It's very important that it's not as bright and exciting as you go for a club or something, or go out for the evening. It's a little different. So Alicia's going to really run you through how to do that properly. And we're really excited to watch those videos. So again, thank you so much for being here with us today. And we can't wait to see more of your career blossoming for the next few years.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.